Shalom, shalom. Hey, first and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rekakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone that rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim that's pushing his word in truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth, waking up the hopeful elect and risking your lives and freedoms to do so. This is the Brothers Leon and Mafin, the GMS Detroit by Camp. And this is going to be just a quick, a quick hit through the spirit, because you have all this information as of late coming out, right, basically concerning this guy, Kanye, right? He, just shed some light on, who the true Jews are, right? So, hey, the question is, if we are the true, the true people, then what does that make them, right? Because they've been deceiving the whole world all this time to have you believe that they're the true people. But yet in reality and according to the scriptures, they're not, all right? So who are they? Well, they the chief of Esau, all right? They're basically Edomites, all right? That's Esau, Edom, the so-called so-called white people, but they're the red people according to the Lord, all right? Because in reality, they're red. Why? Because their blood is showing forth through the skin, all right? He's been cursed by being absent of pigmentation, all right? That's the curse the Lord put upon him, all right? You have to ask yourself, why do everybody else have melanin, some type of color, but he's the only oddball, right, in all of the earth that looks that way? Why is that? Because it's just that. It's a curse. It's a sin to look like that, right? And the Lord used that as an indicator for us to discern and know who the wicked are. It'd been much tougher to do it had he looked like us, but man, it makes it so much easier when he made these white people the way he made them. He cursed them, right? But let's see how we want to hit this. Just to take it back to the beginning, Jacob and Esau, all right? Because the scriptures know that he was red when he came out, all right? No one looked like this on earth prior, to Esau being born, all right? So the Lord created like a what would you call that? Like a anomaly, if you will. Real quick, this is Genesis 25 and 25. All right, just to hit the point. In the first, all right, this is concerning Jacob and Esau, the two twin fraternal brothers, all right? And this is the account. Just gonna jump to the point. It says, in the first, right? So the firstborn son that came out red all over, like a hairy garment. All right. So they referenced them to a garment that's one of our skill sets. All right. In the old world, we're making clothing, making garments. All right. Specifically the red garments. All right, so he was referenced to a red garment because he had the same color of that garment. All right, and they called his name Esau, or Aisha, all right, which means wasted away. All right, it was wasted away, chiefly his pigmentation. All right, but in process of time, the Lord gonna waste his ass, for ruling as a wicked emperor. But and after that came his brother out and took his hand, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel. So as the children are being born, the first one came out, who's the so-called white man. The next one came out, and he had his heel on the way out, showing, hey, they were fighting in the womb, all right, because these two spirits were never meant to get along. It's nothing, it's no type of legislation, no type of anything that anybody can come up with to pull us together. The Lord, He separated us from the womb. All right, they not gonna like us. We not gonna like them. It's a great gulf that's fixed. All right, and it's literally through the Spirit. We're just that, man. We are separate from these people. I mean, shit. Just do a checklist from top to bottom. We have nothing in common with so-called white people. When I say we, referring to the Israelites, all right, chiefly the so-called Negroes, Latins, and Native Americans. All right, none of those people have nothing in common with white people, so-called white people. All right, but just reading on, it says, and after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. Right, and Isaac was 70 years old when she bare them. All right, so that's the point, that the one came out so-called white, which was literally red. All right, or pink. All right, which again is a derivative of red. But you notice when we read this, it did not describe what Jacob looked like. Why? Because Jacob was normal. Jacob looked like everybody else upon the planet Earth. Right, which was different shades of brown. Right, even to this very day, you have people that's different shades of brown. All right, the only oddball in this earth is the so-called white man. Again, that was set as a mark upon him. So that you could identify easily. At least at a glance, identify the wicked. Now, the scriptures also say you have to try the Spirit by the Spirit, so we understand that not to be carnal, all right? Because, yes, due to the scattering, all right, and all these different captivities, right, you're going to have Israelites that appear, they have the look of a so-called white boy, all right? But in the chief, one of the chief examples we use is like take a Blake Griffin, for example. And even more so, his son, Blake Griffin's son. All right. Blake Griffin's sons look like a straight up white boy because Blake Griffin had relations with a so-called white woman. All right. So that seed that comes out, and it's gonna, it's gonna look, a white, but he has the spirit and the seed of an Israelite because Blake Griffin's father. All right, I want to say he's either, I forget if he was Haitian or if he's Jamaican, I forget. But nonetheless, he's a so-called Negro, right, with actual Negro features, broad nose, dark skin, all right. But his father, Blake Griffin's father, I believe, dealt with a so-called white woman. So Blake came out the way that he looks, all right? And if we were to be here that long, all right, and Blake Griffin's line start, just dealing with white women, then that seed is going to appear to be a so-called white boy. But the spirit, all right, the seed, okay, of that, or those individuals are Israelites, all right? And so that's what's going on. So yeah, now we know, man. We can identify, all right? Because this flesh is just that. It's just used to identify people, But then beyond that, what we do, we try the Spirit by the Spirit to see, who's who. Because that's something that you can't change, It's funny that Jake, he can identify in this time and age, he can identify as anything, but when he identifies as an Israelite, that's when shit hits the fan. That's when the whole world is in an uproar, because you can't profess yourself to be somebody, let alone God's chosen people. The world don't want to hear that, right? Because they win when we down, But hey, the Lord is He's setting it up through the Spirit for us to come up, right? And to devour these nations, right? And it had to happen with Esau being revealed, real quick. This is 2 Thessalonians, right? 2. Salakia. 2. And I'll start at verse 3. It says, "Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there be a falling away first." All right, us falling away was us basically forgetting who we are in general. We didn't know we was Israelites. We didn't know the Heavenly Father's name. We didn't know nothing about the Bible. You know what I mean? We knew nothing about it. All right? But now, hey, we coming back into who we are. All right? For that day, deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there be a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed. All right? The man of sin, all right, is the so-called white man. All right? It started with his flesh. His flesh is a sin. Like I say, it's a sin to look like that. All right? According to, what is it, Leviticus, I want to say the 13th chapter. It goes into the leprosy. All right? And that's basically what this man has. So not only does he look sinful, his deeds are sinful. Oh, you understand? Proverbs 6 goes into the 6 things that the Lord hates, right? Starting with pride, a proud look and whatnot. These are sinful, all right, and just wicked characteristics, right? Reading on, it says, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, meaning the son of destruction, right? Because he's the one that's ultimately going to be destroyed, right? He's the one that destroys shit, and he's the one that's going to be destroyed, right? The scriptures say, destroy him that destroyed the earth, It said, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. All right? And these imposters, all right, these JEWSs have set themselves up as being the Lord's chosen people, as being the authority, all this anti-Sem, well, I won't even say it because they may take the video down, but, right, they've created these terms to where you can't even speak on them, and you have to ask yourself why. What's really going on? So, just simply put, they ain't the people, we the people, and they've been found out through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So, this just was a quick hit, but, Lord willing, this was edifying. With that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory due to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Kakudash, the Ba'alas of the apostles and elders, a great millstone that rule well, peace and salutation to the Akim that's pushing his word in truth and sincerity throughout the 4 corners of the earth. Shalom.